Welcome to Live Interactive English. I am Nina and this is Matt. Not sure. Oh, I think he's holding his breath because today we're talking about part 2 of tasting the freedom of the sea with free diving. And with free diving, you actually need to hold your breath. It's been like 30 seconds. Okay. So, okay, that's 30 seconds. I don't think you're setting any records though.
Well, I'm, starting, I'm practicing and training and I'm, getting better. It was 25 seconds yesterday. So.
Okay, that's good. When I was in elementary school, there was actually this little, I think it was part of a physical test where they actually made us hold our breaths and put our face inside a bucket of water and see how long you can hold your breath for. And I did, I think, around 30 seconds. Around
30 seconds. Okay,
yeah.
That's okay. That's pretty
that's
good.
Like you. Yeah. But whales, actually, they can hold their breath for up to 30 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time to just take one breath and hold it for, but I'm going to keep training and...
They live in the ocean, so it's something that they have to eventually develop.
Well, I'm going to aim for just, beating the human world record.
I would start by just beating, 35 seconds.
Okay, well, I'll work on that first. Well, maybe I'll learn some skills on how to do it when we get into part 2 of our article.
Okay.
Freediving may seem dangerous. After all, what do you do when your body starts crying out for air? But if you know your limits, train before you dive, and follow some strict safety rules, the activity is actually quite safe. Many freedivers start training on land. They take a deep breath, hold it, and then try to walk as far as they can. In the water, however, they still have to listen to their body's needs. If they're too focused on the dive, they may not notice when they need more oxygen, and that will cause them to black out. For that reason, no one should freedive without a partner on the surface. That person needs to pay attention and be ready to perform a rescue at all times.
Welcome back to part 2 of Tasting the Freedom of the Sea with free diving. So in part 1, we learned that free diving is just diving without any other equipment. Yeah. So they're just, going down into the sea with no scuba tank or anything like that.
Yeah, which is actually nicer because you don't have to worry about all the weight and you don't have to worry about the bubbles getting in the way of your view, right?
So it's a nice thing that anyone can do.
Yeah.
Free diving may seem dangerous. I think it does. I've always thought it looks very dangerous. After all, what do you do when your body starts crying out for air?
Ooh.
Okay, so I know what that feels like because I was just holding my breath. My body was crying out for it. So when we say crying out, we don't really mean doesn't always mean making a crying sound or it just means needing something. So
very badly.
Very badly needing something. So your body very badly needs air and it lets you know.
Yeah. So earlier you were crying out for air because you were holding your breath, but you can't just start breathing anytime you want. But in the case of freediving, if you're too deep into the ocean, then it might be difficult to get air whenever you need it.
That's true. That's right. But if you know your limits, train before you dive, and follow some strict safety rules, the activity is actually quite safe.
Okay, so before you actually do this, you should be aware of some things and be cautious about certain things. And if you have the proper training, then you will know your limits.
Yes, so as long as you know your limits, limit is a noun meaning the level of something that cannot or may not be exceeded or may not go past. So when we talk about knowing your limits, they mean the amount of something that you can do. So if you are, free diving, you probably have an idea of how long you can hold your breath for, and that is really your limit. So
Just
you don't want to try to do anything that will take longer than that.
Yeah, just like there's also speed limits, right? When you're driving on the road.
That's right. When you're driving a car, there's a speed limit, which is the level of speed which you should not and cannot go past.
Yeah.
So an example sentence, the runner pushed herself to the limit and completed the race.
Wow. So that was at the top, the maximum that she could have done, right? So strict is an adjective and it means strongly limiting someone's freedom to behave as they wish or likely to severely punish someone if they do not obey. So do you have any experiences with strict people, like maybe your parents in your life?
My parents were, I don't know, not so strict.
So strict.
I was a well-behaved child, so they didn't need to be so strict. But I remember some strict teachers that were very scary.
Okay, yeah. I had strict parents, so they would be very specific about what time I need to get home or what I need to do in the house or how I need to dress. Yeah, or I would get in trouble. So an example sentence would be, the government passed a strict law to stop people from drinking and driving, which they should,
It's a good law to have.
Yeah.
So we mentioned earlier that they have these strict safety rules for diving. So things being strict is not always a bad thing, like a strict teacher.
Yeah.
Some of these strict laws or strict rules are good things to follow.
Many free divers start training on land. So instead of doing it in the ocean, they first, have some training on land so they know what to do.
Sounds safer.
Yes. They take a deep breath, hold it, and then try to walk as far as they can. Oh, that's an interesting way to practice. Maybe I can try practicing on my own.
Something you can do on your own today.
Yeah. In the water, however, they still have to listen to their body's needs. So in the water can be quite different than actually being on land, right?
Yeah, on land you can just start breathing whenever you feel like you need to. But in the water, as you mentioned, you don't have that option.
Yeah.
If they're too focused on the dive, they may not notice when they need more oxygen. And that will cause them to black out.
Wow. So blacking out is when you just pass out, right? Like you fall asleep.
You lose consciousness. So when you stop thinking, everything shuts down, you black out. And that can be very dangerous if you're in the water.
Wow.
So
definitely.
As they said, they are too focused on their dive. So to focus on something is to pay particular attention to something. So if they're too focused on their dive, means they're not thinking about other things. Maybe they're very interested in the things that they're seeing on their dive or how deep they're going. They're not thinking about their breath.
Yeah.
So an example sentence, during the exam, Jim was focused on answering each question correctly, which he should be while writing an exam.
Yes. For that reason, no one should free dive without a partner on the surface. That person needs to pay attention and be ready to perform a rescue at all times. Okay, so you need someone on the surface on land with you just in case something happens, and then they can save you and perform a rescue. So perform a rescue, in this case, rescue meaning saving someone when they're in danger or harm. Yeah.
So getting someone away or free from that kind of harm or dangerous situation.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, well, hopefully no one needs a rescue from this lesson because we're going to learn more when we come back after the break.
All right, see you.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们在第一天的课程学到练自由潜水有很多好处哦。不过呢，难免还是会让人觉得自由潜水似乎很危险哎。那么课文写到说，如果你知道自己的极限，然后在潜水之前有进行训练，遵守一些严格的安全规则，其实这项活动是相当安全的。很多自由潜水员一开始会在陆地上训练，深呼吸一口气，然后憋住气。接着就尽量走远一点， 不过在水中呢，我们还是得练习要倾听自己身体的需求。如果太专注于潜水，可能就不会注意到什么时候需要更多氧气，然后会导致昏厥。因此啊，我们在进行自由潜水的时候，水面上一定要有伙伴，那个人要随时注意，并且准备好要进行救援。好，我们补充一下文中的 black out， 在这边是指昏厥，暂时失去知觉的意思。那么单字 limit 当名词可以指极限、界限、限度或是限制。Matt 老师在讲超出限制的时候，他有用到 exceed 这个动词 ，exceed，exceed 表示超出、超过或是超越。下一个单字 strict。Strict 它可以描述命令、规则等等，它是必须遵守的，是严格的。那么 focus 在这边当动词，表示关注或是集中。好，这边两个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是连缀动词 seem， 它是指似乎、好像。那以下介绍几种常见用法。第一种，你可以用 seem 直接加形容詞，像 they seemed uninterested， 他们似乎不感兴趣。第二种，你可以用 seem like 加名词，像 That seems like a good idea， 那似乎是个好点子。好，第三种，你可以用 seem like 加主词加动词，例如 He seems like he's made up his mind， 他看起来似乎已经下定决心了。好，第二重点，我们可以用 as 副词 as one can 去表达尽量怎么样，尽可能怎么样。这个片语也可以写作 as 副词 as possible。举例来说 ，Please let us know your decision as soon as possible， 或是 Please let us know your decision as soon as you can， 请尽快让我们知道您的决定。好，接回到课文中。
If you're looking for a stress-relieving hobby, freediving can't be beat. Under the water without equipment, it's just you and the sea. Give it a little practice and preparation, and you too may find a new happy place beneath the waves.
Okay, welcome back. So before the break, we learned that even though freediving may seem quite dangerous, it's not as dangerous as it seems as long as you follow certain rules, some safety rules, you have a partner, and you know your limits, right?
That's right.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a stress-relieving hobby, free diving can't be beat. So stress-relieving. So now that we know it's not so dangerous.
Yeah.
Because originally I thought, seems pretty stressful to be like going very deep under the water and not knowing if you can get back to the surface.
Yeah.
But as they said, it can be quite safe if you're following the rules.
Yeah.
So that would be stress relieving, meaning that, you know, you have stress, things that put pressure on you, things that you need to do, things that make you feel stress. And it can relieve these things, so it's stress relieving.
So you don't feel as stressed, right? Okay.
Under the water, without equipment, it's just you and the sea.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful. Give it a little practice and preparation, and you too may find a new happy place beneath the waves. Okay, so as long as you practice and you're prepared, you have preparation. Preparation is the act or process of getting ready for something or making something ready. So obviously you need to prepare and you need preparation to free dive. For example, he put in a lot of effort in his preparation for the job interview.
Okay. That's a good thing to do. So we mentioned that you can find your happy place beneath the waves.
Yeah.
So beneath, meaning at a lower level than something else, or like under something else. So beneath the waves, meaning in the ocean, under the waves, at a lower level than the waves, which is the surface of the water.
Yeah.
So an example sentence says, facts about the painting can be found beneath it.
Okay.
So lower than the painting, you can read some facts about this painting.
Yeah, kind of like when you're at a museum, you'll have a little part where it describes the painting, tells you who the painter is, all that, right?
It's next to or beneath the painting.
Yes. So, what do you think? Have you ever tried freediving? If so, what was your experience like? And if you haven't tried it, would you be interested in giving it a go, Matt?
I mean, I have sort of tried freediving once, but I wasn't prepared. I didn't do the proper preparation to do it. So I don't really have the skills to go very deep. I'm only able to go, like maybe 2 meters down before I get worried about not having enough air and return to the surface. So I'm not trained. I don't have the proper preparation. So I think I really would like to really give it a try and maybe take some lessons on how to do it better. Because I think it seems very interesting.
Yeah.
How about you? Have you ever tried it or would you like to?
Yeah, I've never tried it before, but I would definitely love to try it. I'm not very good with holding my breath, so I feel like, if I go through the proper training and practicing and preparing, hopefully I can, have fun with it. But yeah, it's definitely something that you need to dedicate your time to, right? If you want to give it a proper go.
Yeah, if you want to do it properly and safely, of course.
Yes.
So I think it's something that everyone should go out there and try. And hopefully you can find a nice way to practice freediving. And you can start practice holding your breath right now.
While walking.
As I'm going to do. And we'll see you next time.
All right, goodbye.
课文最后写到，如果你正在寻找一种减轻压力的嗜好，那么自由潜水是最佳选择。在水面下没有装备，就只有你和大海。那么稍加练习跟准备，也许你就会在海浪下找到一片新天地咯。Nina 老师提到说，自由潜水听起来确实需要投入许多的时间来练习和准备。老师用到 dedicate 这个动词 ，D-E-D-I-C-A-T-E。那 dedicate 就可以表达奉献、献出，像是献出全部的精力啊、时间等等。那我们课文单字 preparation， 它表示准备、预备，是不可数名词。它也可以当可数名词，会用复数型来表达这个筹备工作。那么 beneath 是介系词，它表示在什么的下面，在什么之下。好，那这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看这个重点是 look for 跟 find 的比较。look for 和 find 都有找的意思，可是两者使用情境不同哦。我们用 look for 来表达寻找，这是用来强调找的那个过程。我们用 find 是表达找到、发现，这则是用来强调找的结果。例如 I'm looking for my phone， 我正在找我的手机，这就是强调找的过程嘛。I can't find my phone anywhere， 我到处都找不到我的手机耶，那这就是强调找的结果咯。好，以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Freediving may seem dangerous. After all, what do you do when your body starts crying out for air? But if you know your limits, train before you dive, and follow some strict safety rules, the activity is actually quite safe. Many freedivers start training on land. They take a deep breath, hold it, and then try to walk as far as they can. In the water, however, they still have to listen to their body's needs. If they're too focused on the dive, they may not notice when they need more oxygen, and that will cause them to black out. For that reason, no one should freedive without a partner on the surface. That person needs to pay attention and be ready to perform a rescue at all times. If you're looking for a stress-relieving hobby, freediving can't be beat. Under the water without equipment, it's just you and the sea. Give it a little practice and preparation, and you too may find a new happy place beneath the waves.
Hi everyone! Today we'll be going to the Yunlin Story House, and that is located in the Huwei County. Now, if you love listening to stories and learning about characters, you are definitely going to enjoy this place. And we also have a lot of interesting activities and events that happen in the story house. So let's go!
The Yunlin Story House was formerly the official house of the Huwei County governor. It was one of the 3 most important official institutions in Huwei County at the time. It has been protected completely. Thus, it is very precious. The inside of the story house is a Japanese-style house, and all spaces are freely connected. Visitors can easily travel through it. For example, when you enter the story house, you can see the reception room. The reception room is a place to receive guests. After the room was repaired, the floor was changed to a traditional tatami mat. It is now a place for exhibitions and books. The yashiki is also very special. It is the most important space in a Japanese-style house, where guests can visit, and rituals, tea ceremonies and other activities are held. The activities here are held by Yunlin Storyteller Association. It was set up in 2005 to encourage reading culture and help develop talents. The association holds events such as storytelling and book creation. If you want to hear about interesting stories and characters, you can come here and have a walk around the Yunlin Story House.
I hope you guys really enjoyed going to the Yunlin Story House with us. Now we learned that there are many interesting activities you can do there, and also events like storytelling as well as book creation. That certainly sounds like a lot of fun. I certainly want to go. Well, this is all the time we have for today. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.